When Virat Kohli finally scored his a test century after a gap of 1205 days, there was a bit of a mixed reaction from many. Overwhelmingly, it was a positive reaction from a lot of people that King Kohli had at last broken his century drought. There were a few people who said, well, this probably wasn't the easiest of pitches to bat on, or it was the easiest of pitches to bat on, really wasn't that much trouble, and truth be told, he should be getting 100 here across any circumstances. Well, according to the man himself, and he revealed this during that conversation which he had with head coach Rahul Dravid, which the BCCI uploaded the interaction on the website and social media handles. He said that it wasn't that easy, and he also talked us through a lot of rather interesting things about, the kind of preparation. How was he affected mentally by that long drought? How he was affected, how he chose to get over it. Lots of talking points. So we figured we'd join you guys, talk about a few of the things that he mentioned. And so let's just get straight to it. Let's talk about Virat Kohli and his interaction with Rahul Dravid. First off, he talked about, of course, that 100 drought, which Dravid cheekily reminded him, saying, I've waited a long time to see one of those. And he said that, look, when I'm batting on 40, I know that I can get at least 150. That was eating me up a lot. Why am I not able to get that big score for the team? And truth be told, it's easy to understand why. Because if you remember, even we were mentioning on our various live shows that Kohli, for the most part, is looking really good. He hasn't looked out of touch. Yes, obviously, conditions were hardly conducive to big stroke making or massive hundreds, but he was generally able to negotiate the conditions really well. And what's more, after that, he was just getting out of that one good ball or one momentary lapse of concentration. Clearly, he felt the same way, because as he said, well, saying it was eating me up because I was getting those 30s and 40s, but I wasn't able to convert it into a big score. And this pressure, by the way, doesn't just come from him. He revealed, he's saying external pressure, try as you might to shut it out, does get to you. Because that's what he said. He's saying that, look, the moment you step out of the hotel room, right from the guy outside to the guy in the lift, the bus driver, everyone is saying we want 100. Now, see, there are two ways of looking at this, obviously. I mean, truth be told, expectations from our biggest stars, our best players, it's a very normal thing. But it does also tend to play on the mind of players, especially when they're going through a drought, as long as the one that Kohli had been undergoing in recent times. Wasn't easy being him during this time period, because again, a burden of expectation is always there on Kohli, regardless of whether he's in form, out of form, just returning from injury, you name it. Kohli is always expected to score big runs. And he's saying that, look, that sometimes that did get to me. There were times when, everyone who I'm talking to is saying was expecting 100, and that's great. But it does add pressure. That being said, he did say that, that made it all the sweeter when I was finally able to get to that 3-figure mark. Wasn't all he spoke about. He also spoke about the pitch, and why I mentioned about the pitch early in the start of the video. Well, this is why. He said that, look, the boundaries on that particular pitch, the Ahmedabad pitch, they were not easy to come by, to be honest. The outfield was very slow, the ball was very soft, and they being the Aussies, were pretty consistent. Now, Kohli himself did go on to add further. He's saying that, there wasn't much assistance on the pitch for any of the bowlers, especially even spinners, but the Aussie spinners were able to consistently land it at certain points. They were able to kind of extract whatever assistance they could, even if that wasn't very much, and that too was not making it that easy to score runs. Now, of course, Kohli's plans were also scuppered by, he had revealed yesterday after the match. He said that, look, we wanted to attack after a point, but when we found out that Shreyas Iyer wouldn't be available, we decided to, play slow. So the fact that conditions weren't that easy, they weren't really offering the bowlers anything, but even the batsmen were not finding it easy to, play expansive free strokes. That's what he's saying. He's saying that, look, it wasn't the easiest of pitches to bat on, but you had to actually negotiate a lot. Again, as I said, not the only talking point. He did also talk about his own preparation or how he approaches test matches, because there were questions that Dravid was asking him about, what was it like to bat long? How do you prepare for that? And he said that, look, I can bat 4-5 sessions easily. That's where fitness and preparation comes into play for me. Saying when I go onto the field, I'm not going onto the field worried, because I know I can bat long, I can score however many runs in whatever situation. I go onto the field to relax, and if that doesn't sum up an elite sports person for you, then I don't know what will. Because if you're going out there under that much pressure that Kohli is, and you're saying, look, I'm going out on the field and I'm just going to relax, that is next level elite mentality by a player who, truth be told, has forever displayed elite mentalities more often than not when it comes to how it is that he, approaches his run making, approaches his craft, and how it is that he prepares. So evident even here, he's saying, I put a lot of effort into my preparations, my fitness, because I know I want to bat as long as I possibly can and that I can do it. So that for us were the more interesting talking points from this rather wonderful interaction between Virat Kohli and head coach Rahul Dravid. If you guys have any other things you thought were interesting or noteworthy, you can let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel, tap that bell icon, follow us on Instagram, Twitter and Facebook, and don't forget to download the AajTak app as well. If you're already on the channel, go ahead, check out some other videos that we've done. For now though, from my side, goodbye.